Hey, Percy here, changing mindsets, changing situations. Hey guys, I'm always asked, what do I do and why? Well, I want to show you what I do by sharing my why. Why do I do what I do? Guys, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you will do something about it. And guess what I'm sick and tired of? I'm tired of seeing parents and grandparents have to bury their children at a young age due to a health issue. So that's my why. I hate seeing parents and grandparents have to bury their children due to a health issue. See, this hit me right here at home. When you have to bury your child due to diabetes, or a niece due to an asthma attack, or someone in your family due to cancer at a young age, you do something about it. So what I'm about to share with you can help you. It can help someone in your family. So guys, sit back and take a listen to this information, because prevention is a lot cheaper than treatment, and the results is so amazing, guys. What you're about to see has already helped a lot of lives, from diabetes to cancer to high blood pressure to asthma and much, much more. So I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want you to see for yourself how this can help you and the people that you care about. If you're like me and you care about your children, you care about your parents, you care about your grandparents, this is information that you will take to heart. Take a listen.
The oxygen concentration in a healthy human body is approximately 3 times the amount of oxygen in the air. All the metabolic processes in your body are regulated by oxygen. Your abilities to think, feel, and act require oxygen-related energy production. In fact, if you're not getting enough oxygen, it can disrupt your body's ability to function correctly. According to Dr. Arthur C. Guyton, in the textbook on medical physiology, all chronic pain, suffering, and diseases are caused by a lack of oxygen at the cell level. Since the publication of his book, a growing number of researchers have confirmed that the best way to improve your health may be related to the optimum oxygenation of your cells. Oxygen is the only component of the air we breathe that's capable of supporting life. Depending on where you live, the air you breathe is composed of approximately 21% oxygen, 78% nitrogen, and 1% in trace components. But when you compare this to prehistoric times, the level of oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere has declined by over a third, and in polluted cities, the decline may be more than 50%. The rise in carbon dioxide that's driving global warming is big news everywhere, but what's even more alarming is the long-term fall in atmospheric oxygen concentrations. Oxygen levels are dropping faster than carbon dioxide levels are rising, and this change in the makeup of the air we breathe is having a direct effect on our health. Just a few breaths of air containing too little oxygen can have serious consequences, and extreme oxygen deprivation can lead to mental confusion, loss of coordination, weakness, nausea, unconsciousness, and even death. As we witness the fall in oxygen concentrations all over the world, minerals are also disappearing from agricultural soils at a disturbing rate. Early soils were rich in minerals. Traditional farming techniques maintained soil fertility through crop rotation, but over the last 100 years, average mineral levels in agricultural soils have fallen dramatically worldwide, and most of the blame lies with artificial chemical fertilizers. In the 1800s, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium were identified by German chemist Justus von Liebig as the elements essential for plant growth. And while these fertilizers have revolutionized agriculture, they've also turned the soil acidic. The combined effects of these fertilizers and the lime needed to combat soil acidity has changed important trace minerals into chemical forms that plants can no longer absorb. Most of the food that we eat is mineral deficient. This is a big problem because you need minerals for growth, healing, energy, proper bone formation, nerve maintenance, and heartbeat regulation. Dr. Linus Pauling, the 2-time Nobel Prize winner, said that you can trace every sickness, every disease, and every ailment to a mineral deficiency. The top 3 mineral deficiencies that are the subject of a majority of the current health discussions, studies, and research are magnesium, zinc, and chromium. Magnesium is responsible for over 300 bodily biochemical and cellular metabolic processes. It's often referred to as the master mineral. Zinc handles the proper functioning of your immune and digestive systems. It reduces stress levels and increases the rate of healing for your wounds. Without enough chromium, you're at risk for diabetes, atherosclerosis, and a host of other issues including chronic fatigue, low blood sugar, and mood swings. The combined effect of less oxygen and mineral depletion is wreaking havoc on our bodies. We have enough to stay alive, but not enough to truly be healthy, and as we get older, it means more pain, suffering, sickness, disease, and a rapidly deteriorating quality of life. What about you? Are you chronically tired? When you get sick, does it take a really long time for you to get better? You might not be able to add more years to your life, but what if you could add more life to your years? What if you could heal faster and get back to feeling good again? Welcome to O2 Worldwide and O2 Drops, our exclusive patented formula for activated, stabilized, and bioavailable oxygen and minerals is going to revitalize your body and improve your health in ways that you might not have thought possible. Don't just take our word for it. O2 Drops have been the subject of more than 24 independent research studies at laboratories and universities all over the world. They're completely natural, safe, non-toxic, pH balanced, totally stable, and easy to use. O2 Drops don't contain any artificial colors, preservatives, stabilizers, or dangerous stimulants. They simply contain a bioavailable form of oxygen combined with the minerals that your body needs the most to repair itself so that you can get the most out of each day and sleep better at night. That's right, you'll even notice better sleep with O2 Drops, and that's because your body does some of its most important work at night while you're asleep, and it needs oxygen and minerals to get it done. O2 Drops are going to bring up your blood plasma oxygen levels and give your cells a fighting chance to not only survive, but thrive. O2 Drops may help to relieve headaches and reduce the symptoms of hangovers. The additional supply of oxygen from O2 Drops helps your liver to cleanse itself from toxins. O2 Drops help to improve blood circulation without drug side effects. O2 Drops are going to help you with your inflammatory conditions by assisting your body in carrying away cellular debris and free radicals. O2 Drops can dramatically boost your energy levels. Start feeling better immediately and order a bottle of O2 Drops today. With a 30-day no questions asked money-back guarantee, you've got nothing to lose. Begin living your life on a level that you never before would have imagined. Once you start using O2 Drops, you'll understand why they say that the first wealth is health. Let's say that the average person dies at 80 and the average diabetic dies at 70. The difference is that the type 2 diabetic is going to suffer for 20 years before they die. If you have type 2 diabetes, you may not realize it, but you've made choices that say, I'd like to have a heart attack. I'd like to have a stroke. I'd like to have my kidneys fail. I'd like to go blind. After that, I'd like to live with Alzheimer's for a little while. And then I'd like to die. So you say, yeah, but I don't have diabetes. Okay. Are you overweight or obese? Because if you are, there's a 90% chance that you'll develop type 2 diabetes. Okay, you're not overweight, but you're still not off the hook because 40% of normal weight people get type 2 diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and other chronic illnesses. Even if you don't have diabetes or pre-diabetes, there's a very good chance that you've got what one of the experts describes as an insulin-resistant scenario. And essentially what he's saying is that 80% of the people living in the US are producing tremendous amounts of insulin just to keep their blood sugar in the normal range. So after years of cooking your body in sugar and insulin, if you're between 40 to 59 years of age and living in the US, the statistics show that there's a 50% chance that you'll become pre-diabetic. That number jumps to 75% if you're 75 or older. And once you're there, once you're pre-diabetic, it's just a matter of time before your pancreas starts to tap out and you move aggressively from pre-diabetes into full-blown type 2 diabetes. And by the way, that's what's driving the Alzheimer's epidemic. Doctors are now referring to Alzheimer's disease as type 3 diabetes, or insulin resistance of the brain. Diabetes is one of the most rapidly growing diseases in human history. 20% of our children are obese and 5 times more likely to get diabetes. For the first time in recent history, there's an expectation that the current generation of parents will outlive their children. In the 1300s, the bubonic plague swept through Europe, killing roughly 50% of the population. It was a complete catastrophe that took Europe 100 years to recover from. And in the wake of the devastation, there were a series of social and economic disasters that left a really dark shadow over European history. Fast forward to today. The body count with the type 2 diabetes epidemic is expected to be far worse, and that's why experts are referring to type 2 diabetes as the Black Death of the 21st century. How could this possibly be happening? We live in an age of advanced medical technology. It doesn't make any sense. But then if you dig underneath the surface and begin connecting the dots, things start to get a little weird. For example, heart disease is currently the #1 global killer, right? You might not think that there's a link between diabetes and heart disease, but there is. 2 out of 3 people with diabetes will die of a heart attack. And here's where it gets even more strange. Cases have been popping up where heart disease patients are finding out that they're also diabetic. These heart disease patients had no idea that they were also diabetic. And the opposite's happening too. Cases where diabetic patients are finding out that they also have heart disease. As you dig deeper, you'll find a growing pile of credible peer-reviewed research from medical doctors like Jerry Reven and Joseph Kraft that can only leave you with one conclusion: that the best way to avoid heart disease is to avoid insulin resistance. But it's bigger than that. As your cells become more and more resistant to insulin, you're at an increased risk, not just for heart disease, but stroke, Alzheimer's, cancer, high blood pressure, blindness, and kidney failure. The leading cause of most chronic diseases in the 21st century is insulin resistance. The medical community is referring to it as diabesity, a twin pandemic of diabetes and obesity. The rapid spread of diabesity throughout the world is staggering. Right now, it's the #3 killer in the United States, and it's on its way to becoming the #1 killer in the world. Unfortunately, most people suffering from diabetes have no idea how deadly it is, or that it's nearly 100% preventable, treatable, and reversible. In the 1300s, people didn't realize the cause of the Black Plague, so it just kept spreading. Could that be what's happening right now with this diabetes epidemic? And what about you? Have you been feeling depressed? Do you still feel hungry after you've eaten a meal? Are there times when you almost black out from fatigue or hunger? Have you been feeling more tired than usual? Have you started to notice tingling sensations in your hands and feet? Are you thirsty more than usual? If you've started to notice any of these symptoms, you might want to consider consulting with a qualified medical professional with a background in nutrition to identify your glucose, hemoglobin A1C, and insulin levels. There are real consequences if you don't deal with this issue now. It's important for you to also realize that insulin resistance typically doesn't trigger any noticeable symptoms for a while. You could be insulin resistant for years without knowing, so you might not want to wait to find out what your numbers are. Now, there are a lot of foods that we eat today that weren't here 50 years ago, so maybe that's a clue as to why we're seeing this uptick in chronic diseases. Just look at the pictures of people walking around New York in the 70s versus what you see today. It's totally different. Any mechanic will tell you that the fuel that you put in your car matters. Let's say that you have to take your car to the shop every couple of months to deal with a different problem. Just for the sake of analogy, let's say that the first problem with your car is high blood pressure. Next, it's high cholesterol. And then it's high blood sugar. And eventually, your mechanic tells you that it's all being caused by bad gas. Are you gonna keep putting bad gas in your car? Of course not. And here's something else to consider. Do you put 40 gallons of fuel in your tank if it only holds 20? No. You drive your car and use up the gas, and then you fill it back up when you need to. My point is that if you have an insulin resistance problem, you're probably going to need to activate your body and get it moving again. And you're probably also going to need to make some changes to your diet. There are a lot of companies that want you to believe that taking their supplements will fix your problems, even if you don't make any exercise or diet changes. So just to be clear, we don't subscribe to any of that nonsense because it's just not true. Our philosophy at O2 Worldwide is to offer you science-based nutritional supplements that you can use together with your active lifestyle and health-conscious diet in order to give the cells in your body not just a chance to survive, but to thrive. And it's in that spirit that we're proud to bring you Thrive, our exclusive proprietary stack of 3 very special nutrient blocks to help you beat insulin resistance, fuel your body's healing process, and age-proof your cardiovascular system. The primary nutrient block in Thrive is its insulin sensitivity blend. This proprietary combination of Banaba, Super Shilajit, and Omnimin AC will help you to control your blood sugar and accelerate the reversal of insulin resistance in your body. Banaba has been used for thousands of years in India and the Philippines to naturally treat diabetes. Banaba leaves contain a compound called corosolic acid, which is not only helpful in lowering blood sugar, but it also helps to increase insulin sensitivity. A group of people with type 2 diabetes given Banaba extract for 8 weeks improved blood sugar levels and lost an average of 2 to 4 pounds per month during the study. Shilajit is considered the king of all ancient medicines. The name Shilajit translates as the conqueror of mountains and destroyer of weakness, and according to legend, Shilajit is considered nectar from God. The Super Shilajit found in Thrive's insulin sensitivity blend is sourced from the pristine, untouched Himalayas and contains 50 to 63% fulvic and humic acids. These super antioxidants are ferocious free radical scavengers and highly effective in the repair and regeneration of the pancreas. Omnimin AC is a trace mineral complex harvested from Utah's Great Salt Lake, and it provides a rich natural source of magnesium, also necessary in reversing insulin resistance. Magnesium is considered the master mineral in the human body. It's also the central atom of chlorophyll, and as such, it's the element that gives plants their ability to convert light into energy. The entire basis of life and the food chain is seen through the sunlight chlorophyll-magnesium chain. Chlorophyll might not be the first thing that you'd consider in the fight against diabetes, but it's a powerful phytonutrient that's being used successfully in several alternative medicine practices to prevent and treat insulin resistance. And that's why the second nutrient block of Thrive is our Active Greens blend. This very unique juice powder contains alfalfa, barley, oats, kamut, and wheat grasses sustainably grown on certified organic farms in the mineral-rich ancient seabeds of the Uinta Basin. These grasses are carefully harvested when they have the highest nutritional content and then processed so gently that when you put them back into water, they're virtually identical to the freshly squeezed juice. And the best part is that they're naturally gluten-free. Thrive's Active Greens blend is so densely packed with bioavailable nutrition that it's like rocket fuel, flooding your body with therapeutic amounts of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, enzymes, and phytonutrients. One of the things that's so sexy about our Active Greens is how rich they are in chlorophyll. This phytonutrient is like a little superhero that'll immediately go to work to replenish your red blood cells, neutralize free radicals, improve your digestion, deodorize your breath, and help to balance your body's pH. Chlorophyll is a powerful detoxifier of the liver and blood. It has the ability to bind and flush out toxic chemicals, heavy metals, and pesticides from the body. Chlorophyll is also amazingly similar to hemoglobin and can help to rebuild the bloodstream. One of the most serious consequences of chronically high blood sugar is that it causes excess glucose molecules to attach to your hemoglobin. Imagine what would happen if you attached several tiny shards of glass to your red blood cells. These jagged-edged red blood cells cause a cascade of damage to the endothelium throughout your body as they speed through your heart, blood vessels, and capillaries. And here's the kicker. Once the glucose is attached, it stays on for the life of the red blood cell, or about 2 to 3 months. The bottom line is that Thrive's Active Greens are packed full of the support nutrition that your body needs to replenish itself with healthy red blood cells, which is really important while you're getting your blood sugar under control. Now, the most exquisite part of your blood vessels is the very inner lining called the endothelium. It's only 1 cell in thickness, and if you were to touch it, it would feel like the smoothest silk that you can imagine. You want to keep your endothelium as smooth and as healthy as possible for as long as you can. And unfortunately, we tend to repeatedly put things into our bloodstream that injure the endothelium. And that's why it was such a big deal in 1998 when Robert Furchgott, Louis Ignarro, and Fareed Murad were awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine for their discovery of nitric oxide. Dr. Ignarro explains that nitric oxide is produced by the body specifically to keep arteries and veins free of the plaque that causes stroke and to maintain normal blood pressure by relaxing the arteries, thereby regulating the rate of blood flow and preventing coronaries. Nitric oxide is the body's natural cardiovascular wonder drug. Nitric oxide is critical in our bodies. This essential molecule signals our blood vessels to relax and expand, creating greater efficiency, greater nutrient delivery, and greater oxygenation to every system, organ, and tissue in the body. By the time you're 40, studies show that you only produce about half or less of the nitric oxide that you did when you were 20. Having an effective strategy to maintain optimal levels is critical because it affects how every cell in your body communicates with other cells. And that's why the third nutrient block of Thrive is a state-of-the-art nitric oxide support blend based on this 1998 Nobel Prize winning technology. Thrive contains the best nitric oxide boosters of 2017 to help heal and strengthen your cardiovascular system. Each serving supplies you with an effective dose of L-arginine, L-citrulline, beetroot extract, agmatine sulfate, resveratrol, and N-acetyl L-cysteine in the correct ratios to boost and sustain healthy nitric oxide levels throughout your body, which will improve the condition and elasticity of your blood vessels and the overall health of your heart. Thrive has been carefully formulated to help you beat insulin resistance, fuel your body's healing process, and age-proof your cardiovascular system. Click on the link below to place your order and start enjoying the benefits that this amazing supplement will bring into your life.